Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking the DC section of HBO Max and putting it up against the streaming service DC Universe and seeing if one can come out on top or if you need to have both. Now, full disclosure guys, I did plan on making this a quick video, but as I started doing some of the research, I realized there was way more to unpack, and I could no longer make it a quick video. I will still do my best, but I don't think it's going to be one of the 10-minute videos as I had originally planned. So make sure you grab your popcorn, make sure you get all strapped in and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and roll that intro, and I'll see you guys back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. So you may notice that we are on DCUniverse.com. Before we actually unpack everything here, just a few disclaimers I wanted to give is that I did a lot of research, but that doesn't mean that I found everything. I'm sure there's some things that I didn't come across, and I'm sure there's some things that I got wrong. So I'm going to try my best to give as much precise and detailed information as possible, but there may be things that I missed. If you do come across something that I got wrong, something that I missed, or you just feel like having a conversation, please have it in the comments down below, and we'll go ahead and go from there. Now, with most of my research, I was looking at different streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, things like that. I did stick away from services such as Hulu with live TV or any other TV type service. There may be some of these shows when we get into comparing some of the shows and where they are that are on some of those other services. You may also find them on NBC app or Fox app or things like that. I didn't search those, I just stuck with the Netflixes and things of that nature. So you may find it some other places as well, but I didn't go into all of those. I'm also not 100% positive on what licenses and what contracts DC and HBO have in place with some other companies. Some of them are pretty obvious, but I do not know the legalities of all of them. So the first thing we're going to actually do is we're going to take a little poke around the DC Universe website here. Very similar when you use it on the app, but some things are a little easier and user-friendly on the app versus the website, but you get the same look and feel for the most part, so nothing will be different there. For those of you that don't have it, let's take a quick spin. So you'll see as it's scrolling through some of the shows and things that they have on the service here. As we scroll down, things that you were watching is going to come up as your dive back in section here. Then of course it's got some DC Universe originals, your new comic issues. So for those of you that don't know, you do get comics on here, but we will break these down more in depth as we go. Some popular comics, news and features, rewards, trending movies, trending comic series, super stories, DC Universe sagas, and then some discussions that are being had. So there's quite a bit of stuff on here. As you see up at the top, you have movies and TV, comic books, community, news, encyclopedia, and shop. Let's go ahead and start with the movies and TV section. Again, it's going to scroll across the top with some of the things you can watch, but our categories we have are series, movies, animated series, new to watch, DC Universe originals, revisit some of the best of DC Daily, binge Batman, specials, shorts, and DC University. You can also browse all, which we will do here in just a little bit. So let's just say you want to take a look at some series, you could hit see more, and of course it's going to show you the series. Now there's not very many series, but that's what they have. We can go back, we can go to movies, we can hit see more, and there you got some movies. Of course you can see more. We're going to take a deeper dive as we continue through, so don't worry about what you're missing. I just want to try to make this as quick as possible, but also precise. We do have some animated series. We're not going to jump into that. We have some originals. You can jump in there real fast. You can see the originals there. You can binge some of your Batman shows. You have their specials. So if we take a look at their specials, they have these things called Absolute Binge Watch editions. So this is the Swamp Thing Absolute Binge Watch, the Titans Absolute Binge Watch. And basically what they do is they put all the episodes into one whole thing, but at the, I believe it's at the end of every episode, I think, or every couple episodes, they have like a little talk discussion about it, and you get some extra behind the scenes, things like that. So if you really want to binge it, that's the way to go. So these are all their extras or specials there. Alright, they have a lot of shorts, and to be honest, I have not watched any of the shorts, but as I was looking through some of them the other day, there's quite a few shorts that actually look pretty interesting that I should actually jump on board and take a look at them. But there's the shorts. And you got your DC University. I have not watched DC University, so I really can't tell you too much about it, honestly. We will get back to this browse all after, but we're going to actually go up and go to comic books. I, to be honest, don't really use the comic books as much as I should either, but they have a lot of comic books on here. You can read it on the browser, but that's one of the things that's a little bit more user-friendly and easier to do on either a phone or a tablet, but it is doable across all platforms. And they have a lot of comics. The easiest way to do this, there's a lot of categories and everything, is browse all comics. You can actually sort it by eras, characters, artists, writers, like literally everything. But they have a total of 1,171 comics for you to read. So quite a few comics. If we just quickly go and break it down, let's say we want Flash comics. You can break it down further if you want, but there is 119 Flash comics. So let's just say this one jumped out at me here. Let's say we wanted this one. So if we go into this one, you can say read issue. You can copy the link to your clipboard. You can of course add it to your favorites. So we're going to say read. And there's different ways you can set it to read it. So you can do it this way. Or you can bring up the menu here. You can browse by the pages this way. You can go into the settings. You can do landscape, browse by panel. You can turn on autoplay. You can change the transition speed. So if we wanted to browse by panel, then it'll actually go this way here, and when you click, it'll go panel by panel. Like I said, it's doable on the web browser, but definitely that works a lot better on a phone or a tablet. Alright, so there's just a lot of options with the comic books. So if you're into comic books, you're not going to find that anywhere else for DC. Next, we're going to go to community. Under community is where basically it's like forums, so you can have chats with people, and there's all sorts of different discussions and community things going on. There's a suggestion box, a lounge, all sorts of different conversations going on in here. So it's just a cool place to be and to interact with everybody in the DC universe here. Next, you're going to go over to news. And these are just going to be all the different news-related things here. So it's going to have some of their social media posts and other things going on that's DC newsworthy. So just a cool place to kind of get all your DC news right there. I like this feature. It's Encyclopedia. So basically it's an encyclopedia of anything DC and all your characters, and tells you everything about all the characters. So if you want to view index, then you can of course view the index of everybody here and find out who they are. So if we just randomly click someone here, it's going to give you an overview. It's going to give you their history. You can go to related content. Now of course some characters are going to have more than others. So of course you can see that Batman has way more things you can go into and see the origin, the powers and abilities. Breaks it all down for you. Then of course you got the shop. So you can shop for all of your DC related items, exclusives, accessories, apparel, collectibles, home decor, pretty much anything that you need that's DC related, they have in here. So go ahead and fill up your cart. Now you may notice that it says that I have 70 tokens over here. We will get into that a little bit deeper as we continue. What we're going to do next is we're going to basically compare side by side what's on DC Universe versus what's on HBO Max. So I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here. Bear with me. Alright guys, unfortunately there's no perfect way to do this, but we are going to try to view the two services side by side and kind of see what they offer here, but we will go and do a little bit more of a deeper dive and kind of take a look at each thing more individually here shortly. What you see here on the left is going to be DC Universe, and I put everything basically A to Z for all their movies and TV shows. And on the right, you're going to have the HBO Max DC section, also A to Z. So we can kind of take a look here and see what we got. Now, before we jump into doing this, I do want to let you guys know, if you make it to the end of the video, there's somewhat of a little treat there for you, somewhat of a little surprise. So hopefully you guys can make it to the end. I know this is a long video. I was hoping to make it quick, but I'm hoping that all the information in this video will make it worthwhile. So let's go ahead and take a look. On the left, we're going to scroll down just a little bit here, and then we'll kind of match it on the right. So you can see what there is here. And we'll go down a little bit on this one. So I mean, you can see some of the things that are similar and some of the things that are completely different. And I do think it's going to be a lot easier if they decide to just put everything under one roof and just have everything under HBO Max at some point. If you guys need to see something in particular, just go ahead and pause the video and take a look. I'm trying to move slowly, but not too slowly. Alright, and that's all there is. So we're going to go ahead and jump back over to the other screen again here. Alright guys, so there is no doubt that DC Universe is worth it in my eyes because it's got so much on it. But we are going to break down some of the differences. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at the price. So HBO Max comes in at $14.99 a month for their regular price. DC Universe comes in at $7.99 a month, or you can pay yearly at $74.99 per year, which comes out to $624 a month. So realistically, DC Universe, for everything that you get, is not that expensive. Alright, how many items do you get per each service? And what I mean by that is, if there's a show that's got X amount of seasons or X amount of episodes, I count that show as one item. So I just want to see which service has more items on it, or what service has more things on it in general. So HBO Max comes in at 63 items, and DC Universe comes in at 84 items. It's also important to note, to keep in the back of your mind, DC Universe was established September 15th of 2018. I didn't put the date for HBO Max because it was just released. Obviously HBO's been around for a while, but HBO Max was just released. Now, comparing these two numbers, obviously DC Universe has more items, but there are some of those things where maybe it's kind of a double item because it's the special version of the show, the binge watch version, and there's probably a few other random things here and there that I didn't take those items out, so it may actually be similar numbers. Now, we do got to start a little bit with some background info here. So, Warner Media, if you guys don't know, is a huge company that owns a lot of different things. I could probably make a series of videos on all the different things they've owned over the years, what they currently own, and everything else under the sun. We only care about a few of them. Now, technically speaking, the head of the snake of this company is AT&T, and AT&T also has AT&T TV Now. They have their own streaming service even though it's the same company, so it gets a little confusing, but we're really not going to open that can of worms, so we're going to forget about that and just continue on with Warner Media basically being the head of the company. So with that being said, out of all the brands they own, some of the more important ones that we're going to be discussing today is going to be Warner Brothers, HBO, and DC. Now, of course, they do also own Cinemax. Now, I don't want to dive too deep into this, but what I will say is, with them owning both HBO and Cinemax, I kind of hate that I pay for both of them when all the money that I pay from HBO and Cinemax and DC all go to the same company. I really wish that HBO and Cinemax could kind of just put everything together and just have a one set price. I also hope, and I do think, that going forward DC may kind of just work into HBO Max at some point in time, but they do also have to figure out what they want to do with the comics and everything else, so I really don't know if they'll keep it as a standalone for the comics, but I do hope that they merge all of the DC stuff in DC Universe into HBO Max to make things easier. And even though it's probably far-fetched, I would really hope that they would, at some point, merge HBO and Cinemax to make it easier, especially when HBO is expensive on its own and Cinemax is right up there with it, and then you add in DC. I mean, just for these three things alone, you're paying a decent penny at the end of the day. So I'll get off my soapbox, but I really wish the HBO and Cinemax would kind of combine there. We are going to forget about Cinemax now. Now, CBS, another company big as Warner Media, we're not going to go too deep into them, but the reason we have to bring up CBS is that Warner Media and CBS have partnered, and they came up with the CW. If you're wondering what the CW stands for, it's C from CBS and W from Warner, hence the CW. So any of those DC shows that are on the CW are because Warner Media owns both DC and half of the CW. Now, it's also important to point out they also have CW Seed. It's a free service. You don't even have to log in. You can just go, click on shows, and start watching them. And there are some DC things on there that I found out last minute. It's also important to note that there's CBS All Access. Now, Warner Media has really nothing to do with CBS All Access, but since the two companies partnered, I wanted to just cross it off the list and make sure there was no DC items on CBS All Access. Now, Supergirl used to live on CBS for season 1, and then it got migrated. So you may still see some Supergirl stuff on CBS, but I didn't find anything DC related on CBS All Access during my research. That's not to say that none of these services will have any DC stuff in the future, especially if Warner Media decides to buy up some other companies. Anything could change, especially depending on when you watch this video. I mean, things could change tomorrow. But as of now, there's nothing on CBS All Access, so we're going to forget that. As we dive in, we have DC Universe Originals. So these are all the originals that came out on DC Universe. They are all on DC Universe currently, except Doom Patrol I did find also on HBO Max. So you can watch that on both platforms, but everything else you would have to have a DC Universe account to be able to watch. So if you wanted to watch Harley Quinn or Stargirl, Titans, or any of the other ones, make sure you get a DC Universe subscription to watch them. Now, I did come across things that are only on DC Universe. So here we have a selection: Birds of Prey, Constantine. Those two I did also at the last minute find that they were on CW Seed, but these others, Lois and Clark, Adventures of Superman, Human Target, Wonder Woman, Krypton, and Shazam are all only on DC Universe. We have the original version of The Flash. You do have DC Universe All-Star Games. Unfortunately, that show has ended, but it is a game show for you to check out. You got Superboy, Son of Batman, Superman vs. the Elite, Superman Doomsday. You also have Superman Batman Apocalypse, Superman Batman Public Enemies, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, Watchmen Under the Hood, Batman Hush, Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. You also have Batman Ninja, Wonder Woman from 1974, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, The Death of Superman, Reign of Superman, and The Spirit. Here we have the DC Universe shorts. So like I said, I have not seen any of these shorts yet, but just taking a quick gander at them, they look pretty enticing, and I may have to watch some of them pretty soon. So you can see here for yourself, there's quite a few shorts. We also have another page of shorts. And this one, unfortunately, had to go on its own page, could not fit it with the others, so there's the last short. But as you can tell, there's quite a few shorts that you can get yourself hooked on. Now, we can't forget, there's a show called DC Daily. Think of it like a daily vlog of anything related to DC. They have a bunch of great people that create these vlogs and talk to you about anything DC related, and they have a lot of great people that they get to come on their show, and they've made 450 episodes. Unfortunately, as of July 3rd was the last episode, but there's 450 episodes for you to binge if you have not seen it. I haven't seen all the episodes, but there's a lot of great ones. Make sure you check it out. Now we get back to those rewards. I showed you how I had some points in my account. The DC Universe Rewards is a new service that they started offering not that long ago. Basically, you just enroll in the rewards for free. You get tokens anytime you do things. It's going to tell you to watch certain shows and you get tokens, or read a comic and get tokens, and you're going to take those tokens and you get prizes. There's a lot of great prizes out there. Some of them are gift cards for the shop. Some of them are a free month of service. There is a lot of great rewards that you can redeem just by watching the shows that you're already going to watch. So this just kind of breaks down how the rewards work. So as you see, you earn more tokens by watching things. It's very easy to see. There's little banners that come up and tell you if you watch this show you can earn 100 tokens. If you read this comic book you can, get so many tokens. They show you if they're expiring, if they're got bonuses attached to them, all sorts of great ways to earn some rewards. They also have loyalty tiers, copper, gold, and platinum. Basically, as you start getting more and more, think of it as leveling up. You're going to level up, and each time you get to a new tier, your points will actually add up faster and be able to get those prizes. You also can select an avatar and choose your favorite characters, and it'll kind of gear those things towards you. Here's some extras on DC Universe. So we covered the shop, where you can get a lot of great items. You got those amazing shorts that I will hopefully be checking out soon. You got the 1,000+ comic books, so if you're into comics, definitely have enough for you. You got news where you can read up on all your DC news. You got those fantastic DC Universe rewards. Make sure you get those rewards and cash them in. You got your encyclopedia where you can learn about characters that you maybe didn't know who they were or what their powers were. And you have the community where you can go and talk to anyone's DC that's in the community. You can go ahead and chat them up. So a lot of great extras come with DC Universe for your subscription that really, like I said, pays for itself. If you're a DC fan and you're not on board, this is the thing to have. We're going to jump over now to HBO Max. Alright, so only on HBO Max are you going to find Aquaman, Batman and Harley Quinn, Batman Assault on Arkham, Batman Bad Blood, Batman Gotham Knight, Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, Batman The Dark Knight Part 1 and 2, Batman The Killing Joke, Batman Under the Red Hood, and of course Batman vs. Superman. No shortage of Batman. You got Batman vs. Dracula, Batman vs. Two-Face, Batman Year One. You got your Batwoman. You got Beware the Batman. You have DC Superhero Girls Hero of the Year and Intergalactic Games. We will touch more on those later. Freedom Fighters The Ray. You have your Green Lantern movie and Green Lantern cartoons. You have what I assume is Justice League Adventures Trapped in Time. You have Joker. You have Justice League, and soon we'll have the Snyder Cut of Justice League. You have a whole bunch of other Justice Leagues. Pretty much any Justice League you need is going to be there. And then, of course, you have your Lego Batman the Movie, DC Superheroes Unite. You have a lot of your other Lego movies, The Flash, DC Superhero Girls Supervillain High, Justice League Cosmic Clash, Justice League Gotham City Breakout, Justice League Bizarro League. Then you got your Necessary Evil, Shazam, Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay Animation. You have the Supergirl the Movie, Superman Brainiac Attacks, and you have Superman 2. You also have Superman 3, Superman 4, Superman Returns, and Superman Unbound. If you're wondering about Superman the original, we will get to that. You have Teen Titans, The Judas Contract. You have Watchmen, the series. And you have the Wonder Woman movie. Now, these are some things that are going to be on both HBO Max and DCU. So you have Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, Batman vs. Robin, Superman Unbound. I believe I maybe put Superman Unbound twice. But I told you there might be some mistakes. I think that might be one of them. Wonder Woman. There is Superman the movie. There's Watchmen the movie. We're going to have Batman Beyond, The Return of Joker, Doom Patrol, Teen Titans, and Wonder Woman. Now, I said I'd get back to DC Superhero Girls, so I thought it was worth mentioning that on HBO Max you have 3 variations of the DC Superhero Girls, and on Netflix you have yet another variation. Now, it does look like the animation style is slightly different between the two, and I've not seen any of these, so I really can't tell you how different they are. But they appear to be slightly different, but you can't get the one on Netflix on HBO, and you can't get the one on HBO on Netflix, and they don't seem to be anywhere else. Also worth mentioning is that on HBO Max and DCU, you can find Teen Titans. On Hulu, you can find Teen Titans Go. On DC Universe, you can find Justice League. On Hulu, you can find Justice League Action. I felt like these were some honorable mentions that are only on Hulu. You have Constantine the movie, Batman Begins, Batman and Bill, The Dark Knight, Smallville, and Preacher. So you'll only find those on Hulu. On CW Seed, you will find Freedom Fighters, which is also on HBO Max, Birds of Prey, also on DCU, Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons, Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, Constantine City of Demons, and Constantine the Show, also on DCU. Here's what you'll find on Netflix: Arrow, The Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, iZombie, V for Vendetta, Lucifer, and Gotham. Now, of course, they are all shows except for V for Vendetta. Now, a quick little extra for you guys. I got a chance to meet some stars here. So, next to me here is Cisco Ramon, or also known as Vibe. His real name is Carlos. He's a pretty cool guy. Also got to meet Killer Frost, or Caitlin Snow. Her name is Danielle. She wasn't that cool. And if you're familiar with iZombie, this is Liv Moore, or Rose. She was pretty cool. Alright guys, now I gave you the date of when DCU came out, and that was for a reason, because all of these shows, not V for Vendetta, but all of these shows are on Netflix because they all came out before the DCU streaming platform had come out. There's only 2 shows that came out after the DCU platform, one of which is Batwoman. So you'll find that on DCU. The other one is our honorable mention on Epix, which is Pennyworth. Now, Pennyworth came out somewhat recently. I don't know why it's not on DCU or on HBO Max. Not really sure why it went to Epix, but that's where it lives. I have yet to see it, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. I do hope that at some point they will migrate it over to DCU and or HBO Max. But I do also have Epic, so I'll have to watch it one of these points. So it's going to bring us towards the end here. Is got just a couple little facts and questions here, so you'll see some of these things on the screen here. We are talking about them. So first off, you may have noticed Max has way more Justice League content than DCU does. Vixen here has currently vanished from the CW seed. Nowhere to be found. That's where everybody says it was. So I'm wondering if it came off there. Maybe it's going to DCU, maybe it's going to HBO Max. Who knows? But hopefully it does, because I'd like to see it. Powerless over here used to be on Hulu. I thought it was a pretty funny show. It didn't last very long, but they took it off, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. So hopefully it'll be going somewhere. I am wondering where all these 90s Batman movies are. It seems like you can only buy them on Amazon. I can't seem to find them for free anywhere, so I don't know why they wouldn't be either on HBO or on DCU. I'm not really sure where they are. Also, where's Catwoman? And I just recently found out about Batman vs. TMNT here. I guess it came out somewhat recently, but I've never heard about it. But can't find that anywhere besides buying it on Amazon. And in my research, I did come across this show, The Secrets of Isis, I believe it'd be pronounced. And I believe that was once on either CW Seed or somewhere else. I had come across it at first, but when I looked, it was nowhere to be found. Now, there are a lot of other DC related content, shows, movies, what have you, that I did not talk about because there's just so many DC things to unpack, and I tried to cover as much as I could in a timely fashion here, but some things I left out on purpose. Just as an example, there's a movie that you guys may be familiar with. It came out not too long ago called The Kitchen, and I don't relate that to DC whatsoever, but it was made by Warner Brothers and DC Comics, so technically it's a DC movie, but I don't think it falls into this realm, so I kept it out. There's a few others that are similar to that I kept out, and there's some that are really, really old, like 1950s kind of things that I just kept out, and I tried to do my best to get as many things under this umbrella as possible, so hopefully you guys feel that I did a good job with that. So now that you guys have made it to the end, it's time for that special treat. So anybody that is already a DC Universe subscriber, you should have gotten this email. If you didn't, check your spam, just look around for it. They're giving out this email that for a limited time, up until July 30th, you can get HBO Max added onto your DC Universe subscription for only $4.99 a month. That's an amazing deal. Instead of paying $14.99, it's only $4.99. That's going to be for 6 months. The way they're doing it is you have to log into your DC Universe account. It's going to have a code. Each code is specific to each user, and you're going to take that code, you're going to click the link underneath it, create an HBO Max account. You have to be a new subscriber to HBO Max and a current subscriber to DC Universe for it to work. Put that code in there, sign up for that HBO Max account, and for 6 months it's going to be $4.99. Now there is some other stuff in the fine print about if you're a yearly DC Universe subscriber versus a monthly. I think it's a little bit different pricing structure, but you still get the same deal. So this is the time to jump on it. If you guys, haven't jumped on HBO Max yet, now's the time. If you already have DC Universe, perfect bundle for it. Now, my personal opinion, I do think that going forward, they are going to possibly do away with DC Universe in some way, shape, or form. I do think most things are going to be going to HBO Max, but I don't think they're going to get rid of DCU altogether because the whole comics and the membership points and all sorts of other things that they're doing for it, and it's really not that expensive to begin with. So if they take the movies and shows out of there, I mean, what are they going to drop the price to? $3 a month? I mean, I don't know. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do But it would be smart of them to put all the shows and movies and everything over to HBO Max and keep DCU for the comics and the shop and everything else. And if they want to charge a couple bucks a month for it for people that value the comics and the community and the shopping and getting points, I'm sure people will still do it. But that's what I think they should do, and I'm speculating by reading other things online that that's probably where they're going to be going, and I hope that they bundle some other things in there as well. There's so many other companies that Warner Media owns. We are going to dive into some other videos going forward. This is just about DC and what's on HBO Max and what's on DC Universe. Plus, you got to see some of the other places that DC has their stuff that I eventually feel they will be pulling the plug on. As soon as their contracts are up with all the Netflix series, I think that they will eventually move those over to either DC Universe or HBO Max, and I feel like they'll pull the plug on some of the other ones as well. I think they'll keep some things out there just to kind of spread the waters with DC stuff, but most of it I think is going to be going to their platform, which is kind of how everyone's doing it. So hopefully you guys stuck with me here and are able to get this special treat. I appreciate you guys for watching, and as we finish this video up, I got one more thing for you. Where do you guys think Birds of Prey will go? HBO Max, DCU, or both? What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please give it a big thumbs up. Of course, if there's anything I noticed that I forgot, I'll leave it in the description down below. If you notice anything I forgot or just want to have a conversation about anything DC related, let me know what TV shows you're watching, movies that you're excited for, anything like that. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more, and don't forget to share. And I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Make sure if you're not already subscribed to go ahead and hit subscribe. Ring that bell so you get notified of any new videos to come out. You can also follow the links on the screen to get to the older videos. And until next time, stay nerdy.